Hi. With it getting cold outside, I thought I would do another video here on emergency heating or heat. I live in Montana. It is getting really cold. Now I want to compare some types of heaters. What should you get for emergency heat? That really depends on you. But I'm going to compare a couple of heaters here. Now the Zebco Traveler 7000 that I have works on these skinny bottles here, but I can also squeeze one of these on there. When I first tested it on the video I have with that, I am using this bottle, but it does take these. It can also take the 20-pound tank. Excuse me. Now I want to talk about something really important. That is hours usage on things like this, 20-pound tanks, and such and so on. Now this would be the Mr. Heater or Mr. Buddy on low. On a 1-pound cylinder, it says it will last 5.4 hours on low. Alright. Now let's go to the Zebco Traveler. Now the Zebco Traveler that I have will go down to 2,000 BTUs. And that will last 10.8 hours on low for the Zebco. Now the reason I'm bringing this up, a lot of people buy these heaters for things like vans or for small spaces. And a lot of people say that the 4,000 BTU rating on the Mr. Heater or Mr. Buddy is just too high. Now, could 2,000 BTUs keep our camper trailer warm enough for us to be comfortable? It should. Especially if the insulation, once I get insulation and get it fixed up, definitely. So you're looking at 10.8 hours. Now this is going to be a little bit off. I'll tell you why. If you're using these, this is only 14.1 ounce. So it's 2 ounces smaller than this. But since I can absolutely use these, when I use this, I do have to bend it out a little bit to get the bottle on, because it's a little bit skinny. But I definitely can use one of these on there. So I am going with the 1 pound. If you're using these, it'll be a little bit less time. But on low, let's say you have to have your heater running. So is 2,000 BTUs of heat going to keep you from freezing if you're in a small space? Absolutely. Now, if you can run your heater at 2,000 BTUs, that will give you almost 11 hours of run time on a 1-pound propane cylinder. Compare that to the Mr. Buddy, which is 5.4 hours on low at the 4,000 BTU rating. Now, let's go here. Now, this is the Mr. Buddy on high, which is 9,000 BTUs. On a 1-pound tank, 2.40 hours. Okay? Now, my Zebco will get on high, it is 7,000 BTUs. 7,000 BTUs is plenty of heat. And on a 1-pound tank on high, that's 3.08 hours for a 1-pound cylinder. Now you're going, well, that doesn't seem like much, more time. But remember, on high, this is only 2,000 BTUs rated less than the 4,000 to 9,000 BTU rating Mr. Buddy or Mr. Heater, whatever they're going by. Now let's go for 20-pound tanks. A lot of people do hook it up to 20-pound tanks. Now this is the Mr. Buddy 4000 BTU on low on a 20-pound tank. That will give you 107.97 hours of burn time, approximate. Of course, all these are approximate, but that should be pretty close. Now let's go on the low rating for my Zebco Traveler at 2000 BTUs on a 20-pound tank. That's 215 hours, 0.94. That's quite a large difference. If you can run a heater on 2000 BTUs and say it's you and your family, and you put all you in a single room, and you're only heating the one room to where you keep from freezing, this will help definitely and keep you from freezing, keep you warm. And this is a whole lot more time than the Btu Heater. Now let's go over here to, this is the Btu Heater on high, 9,000 BTUs on a 20-pound tank, 47.99 hours. So almost 48 hours. And that's 9,000 BTU on a 20-pound tank. Now let's check out what my Zebco is going to use on high. Now remember, this is basically 48 hours. My Zebco on high is 7,000 BTUs on a 20-pound tank, 61.7 hours. So that's almost 62 hours. That's a lot of extra run time if you're having to use this on high, compared to Mr. Heater or something like that, Mr. Buddy. Now here's what I wanted to talk to you about. Of course, I did go through and show you, the run times. Now this is basically a 2000 to 5000 BTU old Coleman heater. Now these things are made in like the 70s. So at the 2000 BTU running time, it would be the same as my Zebco Traveler. Now this is 2000 BTUs less on high than my Zebco. Let's go to the next picture. You see, you could actually hook up a cylinder here, one of these tanks, or actually one of these tanks, because the way this one's made, it's a whole lot easier. This is the Zebco I have. Now this is not mine. Mine is in much better condition than this, but this is the Zebco Traveler 7000. Now let's go back to the Coleman here. See, this Coleman is $80. That's a free shipping. Now you're going, I can buy a brand new portable Btu heater for 80 bucks. Absolutely. But remember, those only go down to 4,000 BTUs. This is the Zebco Traveler that I just showed. Now the shipping on this would kill you because it's from New York. It's 60 bucks shipping. But the heater itself is only 20 bucks. So maybe you could talk to them about shipping on something like this. And right here is where the bottle hooks up. And right here I actually had to bend it up a little bit to fit that bottle on mine. If I wanted to use the 1 pound, it will fit. It's just a little difficult to get off and on because the way it's so skinny here, but it does work. And you're going, why are you showing me these ancient heaters? Now here's the Mr. Heater. This is the cheapest one I found on eBay today. Oh, by the way, happy Halloween. This goes up to 9,000 BTUs. Now this is $80. $77.85 with free shipping from Spokane, Washington. This takes this single tank, which is one of these. And you're going, why would you suggest buying a old heater over a brand new Mr. Buddy, Mr. Heater, whatever? Because the BTU rating. If you are preparing for an emergency situation, you want to use the least amount of fuel you can use. Now, the lowest on this is 4,000 BTU. While the lowest on my Zebco Traveler, or even the old Coleman, is 2,000 BTUs on the Coleman, and 2,000 BTUs on the Zebco Traveler. You want to get something, especially for an emergency situation, where if you can't stockpile, 2,000 gallons of propane, you need to get something that's going to last you the longest. Now, these old heaters are, I believe, all from the 70s, maybe early 80s. I know my Zebco Traveler was in much better shape than this one, but they do work very well. And like I said, if you're in a vehicle or something, or a van, something small, you need something you can turn down so it doesn't get super hot and where there's not a lot of condensation buildup. 2,000 BTUs would actually warm up our camper trailer enough to where during the coldest winters it would keep us pretty, not hot, but it would keep us preferably comfortable. Now, a lot of people are talking about prepping right now and buying stuff and trying to prepare for what's coming with the Democrats and Joe Biden screwing up America. Gas prices on the rise, propane is on the rise. So you don't just have to look at the price of whatever it is you're buying. You have to look at the price of your fuel. And once again, we're back here. This would be the Mr. Buddy on low, on the 1 pound, 5 hours and 40 minutes, or 5.40 hours. The Zebco, or even the Coleman that I showed you on low, 10.80 hours. So that's basically all day long. If you have it on, say, 8 hours a day. Let's even go 10 hours a day. On one of these, you could basically run your heater on low on one bottle. Now, on one of the Mr. Buddies, it's 5.4 hours. So that wouldn't even get you mostly through the day. That'd probably be half your day. This would be pretty close to your entire day. Once again, I'm not telling you what to buy. Of course, we do still have the 5,000 Btu heater over there that runs off the camp fuel. But that's not adjustable. I mean, it is 5,000 BTUs regardless. Having emergency heat for a situation, then that's always a good idea. Now, compared to this to electric heat, you're going, well, okay, I have electricity. I have electric heaters. We have an electric heater going right now. But if your electricity goes out, or if something really bad happens, and you have no electricity, like a real bad storm, tornado, hurricane, whatever, mudslide, avalanche, a flood, and your electricity goes out, even if you have solar, it would take a whole lot of solar and a whole lot of batteries to keep you warm using an electric heater. You know, you can do whatever you want to do. And I'm not telling you to buy anything. What I'm telling you is it makes more sense to buy something like this, or something like this, which is what we own. We own one of these, than something like this. Just because the fuel usage. And if you're putting stuff back for an emergency, is this the way to go? Well, that is up to you. You know, I can't tell you whether you should or shouldn't buy one of these. There have been a lot of complaints because, one, the fuel usage, and two, a lot of the heat comes right out the top and just goes up. And so whatever's above this is going to get really hot. Unlike something like this, where most of the heat comes out the front and then it starts going up. Or even something like this. Now I understand finding an old vintage heater is really hard to do sometimes. But when you supply yourself for emergencies, it's not just your heater you have to worry about. Now I can hook this up to a 20-pound tank. This can be hooked up to a 20-pound tank. But it's not just a heater. You have to worry about your fuel. How fast you're going to go through it. Think about that before you run out and buy something. Anyway, I wasn't planning on doing a video today, but I figured I'd talk about this because, like I said, a lot of people are saying even one of these heaters on low is putting out too much heat and it's going through too much fuel. So why not get a heater that uses less fuel that you can turn down lower? I know this is like the price of a brand new Btu heater, the one you just saw. And this one only goes up to 5,000 BTUs, but it can go as down as low as 2,000. Now the Zebco Traveler here, I mean, you're looking at $74. That's with the shipping. So it's almost the price of one of these. Why would I go with this instead when I can get something brand new? The fuel usage. You want something that's going to work, but you also want something that is going to save you on the fuel. Stretch your fuel. Alright, I'm fixing to go. Let's get midnight in here. But if you think it's a good idea, this is why I'm telling you to not rely on things like electric heaters. If your electricity goes out, if things get really bad, or if the Democrats keep jacking up the price on everything, your fuel cost or your electric bill is going to skyrocket. You need something you can use that uses the least amount of fuel that will do the job. Like I said, even on high, I didn't do the Coleman. The Coleman here on high is only 5,000 BTUs. So it would have more runtime than my Zebco Traveler, which is here at 7,000, and this is 61.70 hours. So that Coleman would be 2,000 BTUs less, which would give you more time, more runtime. I'm sorry, it seems like I'm rambling. It is getting cold. People need to get prepared. These are a waste of money. These are a waste of money, and sometimes they're hard to find. For the amount of runtime you get off one of these small bottles, it'd be better going with a 20-pound tank. Now remember that no 20-pound tank actually has 20 pounds. It actually has closer to 17, maybe 18. So these numbers aren't exact either. But I know my Zebco Traveler would last a lot longer, even if I had to turn it up, right? Because this is adjustable anywhere from 2,000 to 7,000 BTUs. So at halfway, that's 3,500 BTUs, more or less. Well, halfway to 7,000, 3,500. I would still get a better burn time than a Mr. Btu Heater on low. My fuel would last longer. Alright, I understand this is really a long video, but get prepared for winter. Trust me on this, because we're already seeing prices skyrocket as far as the electric bills, the food prices, gas prices. When your fuel here starts to go up and you're going to rely on propane for heat if something happens, you definitely need to get something that will keep you warm but run the longest. And that is one of these old vintage heaters. Now, I'm not telling you to buy this heater, or even the Zebco. Like I said, the one we have is much better shape than this. I'm not telling you to buy anything. But if you're going to start preparing for a bad winter, make sure you have some type of emergency backup heat. And remember, the longer it can run, the better for you. Alright, I'm fixing to go. I apologize, this video I'm pretty sure is really boring today. Like I said, I wasn't going to do a video, but I'm looking at the price of stuff going up. I'm looking at some supplies going down, especially at the grocery store. I'm looking at what Joe Biden and the Democrats have done to propane, natural gas, and oil and gasoline. And I'm thinking to myself, it's going to get bad before it gets better. It's going to get a whole lot worse. And if you think it's going to get worse, then get prepared. Remember, these things aren't cheap. you'd be better off buying a 20-pound tank, which holds 17 to 18 pounds in most cases. Anyway, that's it. I'm fixing to go. And everyone stay safe. I hope you make it through the winter. I'm sure I'll make another video before winter and before winter's over. But stay safe. Try to get some type of emergency backup heat. Even if you have to run out and buy one of these. But if you do, think about how much fuel this is going to use to run it to keep you and your family from freezing. Let's get back here. Right here on a 20-pound tank, 47.99 hours. Now that's 20 pounds, of course. This is wrong because it's closer to 17 to 18 pounds. So this will be cut a little bit. But going by the 20-pound propane tank, or 20 pounds, it would be 47.99 hours. Now one of the other heaters, the Zebco, would get an extra, what, 18 hours runtime? 17, 18, whatever it is. It's 61.7 hours. You know, even if that was an extra 10 hours, it'd be worth it. Because the extra 10 would be 57.99, which would be 58. And this is 61. So that's what? An extra 13 hours of runtime on high compared to the Mr. Buddy. And this one on high would even last longer than that. Something like this. Because it only goes up to 5,000 BTU. If you're planning on getting emergency heat, think about where you're at, how cold it's going to get, how much fuel you have to stockpile, what type of canisters you're going to use, where you're, say you and your family are going to sleep. If you're all going to be in one room with a single heater, will that heater warm up that room enough? You know, on high, at 5,000 BTUs, it should warm up a room pretty good. Depends on the size of the room. That's why I prefer the Zebco Traveler, because I could go up, clear up to 7,000 BTUs of heat if I needed to. But if I don't need that much heat, once the room is warmed up, I can turn this down to 2,000 BTUs and just keep the room warm. Unlike this, it's 4,000 BTUs. It's probably going to make it too hot. Alright, I apologize. I have been rambling. And it's a long video. Just do your best to get some type of emergency heat system. Even Joe Biden said it's going to be a bad winter. And with prices going up because of the things Democrats have been doing in this country, I don't doubt it. Try to keep you and your family safe. Alright, that's it. I'm fixing to go. And everyone have a good day. Bye.